Okay, welcome to the Pilates class today. It's my absolute pleasure to be able to do this for you. As you realised, I'm not in the class with you, so I'd really like to just go through some things so that you've got that assurance. So firstly, I am a qualified level 3 Pilates teacher with active IQ and YMCA fitness, so you're going to be in really good hands. We're going to take the class just a little bit slower than if I was in the room with you. My big thing is technique over breathing. So if you get your technique first, don't worry about when you should be breathing in and when you should be breathing out. That will come. And I will give you some cues of when to breathe in and when to breathe out so that you can really maximise the effectiveness of the move. What I would say is don't hold your breath, because when you hold your breath, you starve the muscles of oxygen, and they're the very muscles that we want to be working and toning and building on. And apart from that, if you hold your breath, you end up dying, and that's really bad for my insurance. The other thing I really want to bring your attention to is the pain versus challenge conundrum. So, firstly, if you feel muscle burn, that's exactly what you want. That's what we're going for. That's the challenge that you work with, because that burn is lactic acid, and that's just giving your body the sign that you are building and toning your muscles, okay? But pain is very, very different. So if you get pain in the neck, in the shoulders, in the hips, knees, ankles, back, you need to stop. So I will show you modifications of how you can adapt each move to your level, okay? And also be really kind to yourself. If you can't do the full move today, it could be that you haven't drunk enough water, it could be that you're really tired, you've had a stressful day. Don't push yourself to the point where you might not be able to walk tomorrow. So again, there's that real, it's up to you, it's your responsibility. There's that real challenge versus over pushing, but certainly don't work through pain. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to put my phone on so that I'm able to keep track of time. I know it's Thursday, and what we said is that we're actually going to finish just a little bit earlier so that we can clap the NHS. So, let's start firstly with our Pilates position, and I'm going to go side on for you so that you're able to see this. So our feet are hip distance apart with our toes facing forward. So if you tend to go slightly out, you need to bring those toes in. The knees are nice and soft. Now, they're not overly bent, but if you're like me and you're double jointed, they're certainly not locked out, because when we lock our knees out like this, we don't engage any of the muscles. So we need to have a nice soft bend to that knee. Our core muscles are pulled in, and when we're going to be doing some of the ab work, which we're going to be doing today, you're going to be pulling in the muscles from that pelvic floor, but also pulling your belly button to your spine, and it's that core engagement that will really help with some of that ab work. So the shoulders are nice and soft, they are back and down, and then the chin. So many of us actually jut our chins out, especially if we're working on screens and computers. So you just bring that chin in, the top of the head is stretched and facing the ceiling. So that's the setup that we're going for. That's what you're going to stay with, that's what you're going to return to. And we even keep that position when we're on the floor, and I'll talk you through how we'll do that. So we're going to kick off with necks. Then we're going to do some shoulders, then we're going to go onto the floor, do some mat work around our abs. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is look after those necks that have been doing so much work for us. It's a very simple move. First of all, the ear goes to the left-hand shoulder, and then you rotate so that the chin is to the shoulder, back to ear, and back up. Let's bring the breath in now. So breathe in to prepare. And on the exhale, you take the ear over to the right shoulder. Rotate round to the chin. Make sure those shoulders are back and down. ear, and return. Let's do one more on each side. So breath in to prepare. On the exhale, you take the left ear over to the left shoulder. Really feel that stretch going along here. Keep those shoulders back. My hands are there to enable that they don't roll forward. Take the chin. Enjoy that rotation. Breath in. And on the breath out, there's the effort. Take it back to the ear and back to normal. One more now onto our right hand side. So ear to the shoulder. Enjoy that stretch, that's where we want to be feeling it. Take the chin over to the right shoulder, keeping those shoulders back. Breathe in. And on the exhale, return the ear to the shoulder and then back to normal. Brilliant. We're going to now do some chin tucks, which is basically putting your chin to your chest. And then we're going to be taking our face to the ceiling. But what I don't want is for you to take your head too far back. So it really is just face to ceiling. So deep breath in to prepare. And on that exhale, take the chin to chest. And from chin to chest, face to ceiling. And return. Okay, let's do a couple more of those. Breathe in to prepare. On that exhale, that chin goes to the chest. Face to ceiling. And back to return. So you can be doing your normal breathing rate there. Let's try one more. Breathe in to prepare. As you exhale, you drop that chin to the chest. Take the face to the ceiling. On a natural breath, breathe in here. And on the exhale, back to normal. Okay, don't know about you, but I'm definitely holding a lot of tension in my neck at the moment. Okay, so we're going to do some neck rolls, which is where we are going to drop our chin to our chest. And we're going to roll it to the right shoulder. And then we're going to roll it to the left shoulder. Okay, making sure those shoulders are back. Mine are creeping forward already. So keeping the shoulder onto the chest. Keeping the chin to the chest even. Roll it to the right shoulder. And roll it round to the left. And we're just going to do a couple of these just to really get that neck mobilised. I don't know about you, but some of mine are creaking on those rolling back and forth. Okay, perfect. So facing forward for me. Just check that alignment because we're going to do some standing positions now. So what we're first going to do is we're going to do an assisted roll down. Now for those that have been doing the class with me for a while, you know that we keep our legs actually quite relaxed, so that real soft bend. But on the assisted, we're actually going to create a much more exaggerated bend. So that's the first thing I need you to do is take a deep breath in and really get a deeper bend into those knees. The shoulders are back. You're going to take a deep breath. And on the exhale, the chin nods and then the head takes us forward. The crown of the head is leading us down, but you really have engaged those core muscles. The idea is to rest your chest onto those thighs and then just relax. But don't worry if you can't get down as far as this. You might just be here for today. That's absolutely fine. But just enjoy where you are. You're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to roll back up. The head is the last thing to come up, and this is really slow. So, first of all, you engage that core, you bring that lower back up first. Then, the middle back, that thoracic back engages. The last thing that comes up is the head. The shoulders are going to go down, the chest comes forward, and the last thing to return is the head. I'm going to go side on, just so that you've got a different view of that. So feet facing forward, so just check that you haven't gone into like a little bit of a pigeon stand there. Those knees have got an exaggerated bend. Deep breath in. Nod the chin to the chest. The head comes forward and down you go.
So just think of this as vertebra by vertebra as you travel towards the floor. The crown of the head is leading you. And then when you get to your point of no return, just take a stretch there for a moment. Deep breath in as you engage your core muscles to begin this lumbar spine to come back up. Then that middle back follows, and then slowly the shoulders go back. You're keeping that core in, and the last thing to return is the head. One more. Okay, in your own time. Chin to chest. The head is leading. The arms are heavy. They're not touching the legs at all. You're pulling in that core, so the core is really engaged. And then rest the torso onto the thighs, which might mean that you slightly lift the buttocks, and that's absolutely fine. Just stay where you are. Enjoy that stretch. Some of you might be feeling it in the thighs. Deep breath in, and vertebra by vertebra up you come, keeping that core pulled in all the time. It's that what's pulling up my back. Shoulders back. Last thing that returns is the head. Okay, we're going to do such a small little move now, and I think it's really, really powerful because so many of us have rounded shoulders. I want you to imagine you have an elastic band that's on the edge of your collarbone to the edge of your shoulder. Okay, so it's a really tiny little space. And what I want you to do is just pulse those shoulders back. So the elastic band would be stretching. This exercise is called opening the collarbone. So it's really great for getting this definition here. And it's great if your shoulders have actually rounded. It's just pushing them back. I like to just feel that because it actually shows me how much my shoulders have rolled forward. Okay, tiny little stretch, very powerful little move. Alrighty, let's come down onto the floor, and you're going to go onto all fours. Okay, for our all four movement, there's something that is really, really important, and is that you really keep great alignment of your hands and your wrists, so really in alignment with your shoulders. So what am I meaning by that? I mean that you're not out here, but you're not so close to the body that you're putting a lot of pressure on the wrists. So those hands are directly under the shoulders, and if you feel in this position that you're already feeling a bit of strain on the wrists, just move them a smidgen forward, but not a lot, just a tiny amount, just to relieve that pressure on the wrists. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do some rotations here, just to get your hips really moving. So from here, you're going to take the hips back and then round and forward. Okay, so you're just going to breathe in your normal breath, but take the hips back and round, so they're circling round. You're going to keep your gaze to the mat, so don't hinge your neck to put your head forward, so your gaze is to the mat. Okay. And from here, go the other way. So we hold a lot of tension in our hips. This is just loosening them. Okay, great. From here, if you're okay to sit on your knees, this is the position I want you in. If you find that this is really uncomfortable, you can always take your cushions and pop them under your knees, okay? So you can either be up like this onto the knees, or you can just be down. If you're choosing to be further down,
Try and activate your toes as well, so that you just tuck your toes under. Okay, so from here, just looking after those shoulders again, what I'd like you to do is just take those shoulders back, and then from here, roll them backwards. So, if I was in the class with you, there's a couple of things that I would be looking at. Have you suddenly put your shoulders further up towards your ears? They need to stay down, so the rotation happens without you hiking them up to your ears. Okay. And then we will go forward. So rotate that forward. And again, have the shoulders hitched up towards the ears. And you're just breathing in your normal time now. Don't worry about when it should be in or out, just keep on breathing. Okay, perfect. We're going to do some seated side bends. So for this, we're going to get you to go onto the floor with your legs across you. So if you can, the left foot goes into the inside of the right thigh, and the right thigh is just very comfortably bent behind you. What I want you to check though is, have you slumped to enable this movement? Because if you have, you just need to particularly do a wider stance. Okay, but for me, I'm okay. So my left hand is going to go just to the side of me. I'm ensuring that I'm staying upright. Okay, and from here, I'm going to lift up and stretch over. So the stretch is coming from here. Make sure you haven't rotated forward. You're really going over your head and feeling the stretch to the side. And return. And on the other side, you just bring that arm over. Again, you're not going forward. You're getting that arm really over your head, and the stretch is coming from this side here. Perfect. Okay, breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, you raise up. Hand goes over, and you really stretch. So if you're trying to touch the wall, breathe in, and on the exhale, return, and the hand goes over. Okay, so if I was in the class, I would be looking at your shoulders. Have they suddenly hunched up? What's happening with the belly? Have you suddenly let that go? If you have, suck it in, please, ladies. And off we go again. So deep breath in to prepare. On the exhale, that's your effort that you're making. Over you go. Now really stretch. Can you get half an inch more stretch? Breathe in, and on the exhale, return. Straight over to the other side. Brilliant. One more to finish off, so breathe in. On the exhale, over we go, lifting up and really pushing those hips forward. Perfect. Return, and our final stretch. Perfect. Can you find any more space just to go over to the other side? Okay, lovely. You've got a couple of options now. You can either put your feet out in front, or if it's comfortable for you, you can actually sit cross-legged. But if you sit cross-legged, make sure that you don't actually start curving the back to keep that position. You need that back to be straight. You need that chest lifted. You need that tummy pulled in. I want you to imagine that from your waist down, you are now absolutely setting concrete. So nothing below your waist moves at all. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your hands to the prayer position, put the thumb on that breastbone, so that really big bone that you can feel in your chest. And you're just going to rotate to the right. And then back to centre. The advantage of doing this sitting down, and I know we sometimes do it standing up in the class, is that actually your hips can't roll forward, which they sometimes do. So deep breath in. And on that exhale, take that waist round. Just hold it there for a second, take a breath, and can you get any more rotation into that spine? And back to centre. Deep breath in to prepare. On that exhale, over to the other side. Just go as far as you can, but take a breath in. And on the exhale, can you go a little bit further? Okay, so if I was in the class with you, I would be making sure that your shoulders hadn't again hunched up. So it's the shoulders that we need to engage, and it's that belly. Keep those core muscles in. Imagine that you're pulling the spine and the belly button together. Let's do a couple more each side. So breathe in to prepare. And on that exhale, round we go. Nice rotation here for the spine. Breathe in. And can you on that exhale find just a little bit more rotation? If you can, go for it. And back to centre. Last one. Breathe in to prepare. And as you breathe out, over you go with that rotation. Hold it here for a moment. Breath in. And on the exhale, can you find just a little bit more rotation? You often can. And if you can, go for it. And back to centre. Okay, so that's our spine rotations, and we've also done our side bends as well. So we should be really nicely warmed up now to do something just a little bit more challenging. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some arm rotations. This is all about our shoulders, so I'm very big on our shoulders and our back, as you know. Next week I'm going to do something focusing on our bums and our legs, so look out for that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our arms by the side of us with our palms relaxed facing upwards, okay? We are then going to float the arms up to just shoulder level. So you just need to make sure that you don't go too high or that you don't go too low. So just bring them up to shoulder level. Rotate the arm around. So the palm is now facing down. Okay, I'm on the camera and I can see mine have gone a little bit high. Then rotate back, palms to ceiling, and down they go to the floor. We're building up to another exercise, but I just want to get this shoulder girdle working first. So deep breath in. On that exhale, bring those arms up. Rotate the palms so they're facing down. Now just check, have you brought the arms forward? Have they gone too far back? If you hunch those shoulders up, good. So keep them all down. Rotate back to the ceiling, and down we go. So this time round, I'm going to put in just a little adaptation. So deep breath in to prepare. On the exhale, float those arms up. You're going to do your rotation, so palms down to the floor, palms down to the ceiling, and this time you take them straight above your head. Okay, now make sure your shoulders are down, because the next thing you're going to do is just see how far you can take them behind your head. Quite a small move. Couple of things you need to be checking. Have you jutted out your chin? If you have, just bring it back. If your shoulders have suddenly come up towards your ear, take them down. Brilliant. Arms back to just above your head. Shoulders, rotation down to the floor, and down they go. So it's that little kind of push back behind your head. It's tiny, but if you feel a bit of pulling on the shoulder, reduce how much you're pushing them back. I'm going to go side on just so you can see how much I'm doing it. So, palms facing the ceiling to begin with. Deep breath in, you can see I've got my core engaged. My arms are floating up to the ceiling. There's that rotation. We're going to rotate again back up to the ceiling, keeping those shoulders down. The hands come to prayer position. Before we go any further, take a breath. Check that the shoulders are down, so you'll see that I've just adjusted mine, and then
push back as far as is comfortable, making sure that you don't jut your chin out, that you keep that chin nicely tucked in. Then back it comes, back down to shoulders, and return to the floor. It's a really great one for being able to bring your awareness to what you're doing with your neck. Are you clenching your neck or your chin? Okay, gang, let's do our next one. So we're going to go back onto our all fours again. This is a great one for rotation, and it's also a great one for our shoulders. So it's called Thread the Needle. I'm going to demonstrate it to you first on the side, because some of you might not have seen it before, and then if you're following on the second one. So let me get my positioning. My hands are directly underneath my shoulders. My fingers are spread to be able to take the weight really evenly. You can have your feet flat, or you can engage the toes. It's totally up to you. My gaze is to the mat to begin with. I'm going to take a deep breath in. My awareness now is, have I dipped my back? And if I have, or if you feel that you have, you need to make sure that back is really straight. I'm going to lift first my left hand without shifting too much of my weight. And then I'm going to thread the needle so my shoulder goes to the floor, and then for the rotation on the neck is that I'm glancing now to the ceiling. I'm going to take a deep breath here, and then I'm going to return. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So join in with me now. Make sure that your knees are hip distance apart, that you've got either your feet flat on the floor or you've curled your toes. Take a deep breath in. We're going to start on the right hand side. Your gaze is to your mat. And as you exhale, you lift that hand into a nice straight line. Thread the needle as the shoulder drops to the mat and the face rotates to the ceiling. And return. Now this is really funny. I said to my husband, what's the betting that the cats are going to walk past me while I'm doing this? He said it's a very high odds, and I think you're just about to see them. Okay, I'm now going to do this just from the face on, just so that you've got that different angle. So, deep breath in to prepare. Make sure that back is really straight, that you haven't dipped or you haven't overarched. Okay. From here, we're starting on the left-hand side. You're going to take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, that left hand moves without you too much shifting your weight around. From here, you tuck it under as you thread the needle, the shoulder goes to the floor, and the face and neck rotate to the ceiling. Perfect. Deep breath in. And on the effort, you exhale and brings you back. Let's do one more of those on each side. So, gaze to the floor, deep breath to prepare as you know, and on that exhale, up comes that right hand, really nice straight line. Thread your needle as the shoulder drops to the floor and the face rotates to the ceiling. Just hold it, just enjoy it. One of the challenges here that you can really try and push those fingers as if you want to touch the wall. So you're really stretching across that shoulder. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, we come back. Last one. That nice breath in to prepare. On the exhale, up comes that left hand. Through the needle it goes. Excellent. Now really try and stretch that hand. Keep that rotation to the neck so the face is really facing the ceiling. Your gaze is up to the ceiling. Enjoy. Stretch the hand. Deep breath in. And back. Well done, gang. I hope you're still with me. Let's have a look what we're doing next. Okay, we're actually going to go on to our backs. So, let me talk you through that back position, because it's still really important that even if we're going into a lying down position, that we actually don't lose our form. So, the key things to remember is that you need to keep your core engaged, but you don't push your back so much onto the floor that you're like a board. There's always a little bit of a natural curve in the back that you'll have.
That curve goes when I ask you to engage the core more, because as you pull the core in, the actual back will flatten, okay? So, let's see what we're doing. Okay, down we go. This is where you need your cushion. So in Pilates, we always have a head cushion, or you can use one of your sofa cushions, just to have behind your head and neck. And what that enables is it enables the neck to stay in alignment with your spine. So just make sure that you've got that head supported. Okay, so core engaged. These shoulders need to be down as our hands are going to go to our side and our palms are facing up. So from here, you're going to take a deep breath in as you raise your arms to the ceiling, and your palms are now going to be facing each other. Okay, from here, and this is such a tiny move, is you're actually going to reach to the ceiling and just lift the shoulders off the floor, and then return. Now when you return, you can absolutely bang it down as much as you like, because it will try and get rid of some of those knots that you might have in your shoulders. So, deep breath in. On the exhale, you reach towards the ceiling and the tops of your shoulders have come off the floor. Just hold it there for a moment, take a little natural breath, and out. And then a deep breath in to prepare, and bang those shoulders down. I want you to do about 3 or 4 of them, and you can do that in your own time. Okay, hope you're all with me, hope you're all good. So, just making sure you've got room now, because we're just going to do some shoulder circles. So we're going to activate the whole shoulder girdle. So, we're going to start off with our palms facing upwards. Still keep that core engaged, there should be that slight little curve there in the back. Okay, you're going to first of all lift the hands to the ceiling. Palms are facing each other. Then the palms are going to rotate so that you are then gazing at the back of your hands. From here, the hands go behind you. Check that you haven't scrunched your shoulders up. You're going to scoop them round in a circle, and then up we go again. So hands to the ceiling. Rotate so you're looking at the back of the hands. Now drop those arms behind you, making sure that you haven't brought your shoulders up, and scoop round in a circle. We're going to do 2 more this way. So hands up to the ceiling, rotate so you're looking at the back of the hands. Drop those arms back, nice little breath there just to keep you going. Scoop round in a circle, and up we go again. Hands to ceiling, back of the hands that you're gazing at now as you do that rotation, behind you, and scoop round as a circle. So we're now going to actually change the direction of that. So starting here, we now scoop the hands round to the back of our heads. Now we lift them up, looking at the back of the hands, rotate so they're looking at each other, and down they go. Okay, we're going to do a couple more in this different direction. So, palms facing up, scoop them round into a really big circle. They're at the back of your head. Make sure those shoulders are staying nicely down in their pockets. You're going to lift the arms up. Rotate the arms so the palms are facing each other. And down you go. Let's do one more. So palms are now facing up. Scoop them round into a really big circle. Really feel that stretch, potentially just across your armpit. Raise those arms up to the ceiling. Rotate so the palms are together. And down they go. Okay, We've done lots of shoulders. You're going to be really pleased to know that we're now going to do some ab work, and I know you all love working on your abs. So we've got quite a few to do. If at any time you need a rest, if at any time you want to just hug your knees into your chest and just have a little roll, you're absolutely fine to do that, and then you can pick back up with me. So without further ado, feet are going to be hip distance apart. You've got a nice 90-degree angle here with your hips, making sure you've got your head on your cushion. What I'd like you to do is take your hands behind your head and your elbows are in your peripheral vision. So they're not so far in front that your elbows are almost, you know, crunched up, but they're not so far back that you can't see them at all. So you're just in your field of vision. You are going to take a lovely deep breath in. You're going to engage your core muscles, which includes pulling up now that pelvic floor muscle, which is so strong. You're going to tip your chin to chest. You're going to raise off the top of the shoulders and the middle of your shoulders, but the base of your shoulders remain on the floor. From here, you're going to go halfway down to the floor, but you're not going to go to the floor. So it's a tiny little move that we're working on. It's the core that we're working on here. So breathe in. As you breathe out, you take that little curl up, really pulling in the core here, scooping this muscle, and then just a tiny little return, but not to the floor. Again now, deep breath in. On the exhale, you do that nice scooping of the abs as it brings you up just a little bit higher. The base of your shoulders remains on the floor, and return. Okay, if you're feeling any tension in your neck, just ensure that your thumbs are supporting your neck so that can support a little bit more. Let's do 2 more of these. So breathe in, curling up, hold, and return. Breathe in. On the exhale, you really bring this core muscles into play now as it brings you up. Just hold it there for a moment, but still breathe. And then return. 1 more. Breathe in. And on that exhale, really curl up. Your gaze should be to your knees. If you're gazing up at the ceiling, it's going to really hurt your neck, so it needs to be at your knees. And then go down to the floor. Okay, so from here, we're going to now move into our obliques. So you're still going to have your hands behind your heads and those elbows in peripheral vision. You're going to take a lovely deep breath in. You're going to engage that core, so straight away you can see that I've got that core engaged as that stomach's become flatter. I'm not going to flare my rib cage because you see that causes an overarch in my back, but I'm going to pull that rib cage down as I come up. Okay, you've got 2 options. You can either keep your hands here and take the left hand to the right knee and return, and then the right hand to the left knee and return. Or you can actually take your hands away and take your left hand to the right knee and the right hand comes to the side, to centre, and then the right hand to the left knee and the left hand goes out to the side. This is what you're not doing. You're not rocking, because if you're rocking on the shoulders, you're not engaging your abs, and you often see people in the gym doing obliques when really what they're doing is rocking on their shoulders. Okay, so let's start. So everyone start from the same position. I'm going to today just keep my hands behind my head. So, or my head even. So, deep breath in. And on that exhale, we're going to bring ourselves up. We're going to stay here. And then we're going to extend the left hand to the right knee. It's a very small rotation. Back we go, but we don't go down to the floor. We're then going to take the right hand to the left knee. Excellent. Back to the centre, but not back to the floor. Left hand to the side of the right knee.
I hope you're breathing and I hope you're engaging those abs. Okay, right hand to left knee. We're not finished yet, girls, keep on going. So left hand to right knee, tiny rotation. If you feel you're rocking, then you need to minimalise the movement. Okay, it's very tiny. One more on each side. Perfect, breathing as we go, because our muscles will need that oxygen. And down to the floor. Okay, how you doing? Good? Excellent. So from here, I've got a great one for you, and I'm going to give you some modifications because I appreciate that some of you might not be able to do this. So we're going to do a roll up, which also comes into a stretch over our feet. So I'm going to demonstrate first, and if you think, oh my God, I can't do that, don't worry, I'm going to show you a modification. Right, so I'm pretty confident you can do this though. So feet hip distance apart, down I go. My hands are to the side, okay? I'm going to take a deep breath in. This is all about my core now. I'm sucking that in and I'm making sure that the rib cage is really low. I haven't flared it out because that really hurt my back. As I breathe out, the chin comes to the chest, the shoulders come up, my hands are now raising as I come up to my knees, and then from here I'm imagining there's a beach ball and I'm just stretching over that beach ball. From here I'm coming back to the centre, nice straight back, and I'm imprinting vertebra by vertebra back onto the mat. This is elegant, this is slow, this is not just falling to the floor. Okay, and then off we go again. So, the modification on that is this. If you feel you can't get up, or you feel that your feet suddenly start to come up, there's a couple of things you can do. You can fold your mat so that you've got just a little bit more spring to help you up. Or, you can, if you've got anyone around you or you've got something that you can put on your feet, because it's really important that your feet stay on the floor. So either something you can put over your feet that will keep you there, or something, maybe your cushion that you can put just a little bit lower that will help you up. Or you go as far as you can and then go back down. So there's lots of options there for you to consider. Okay, you ready, gang? Let's do it. Okay. Palms facing down, your hands and arms are going to really help you with this. You're going to take a deep breath in to prepare. And on that exhale, you begin to nod that head. Shoulders are following. You are pulling in that core. There you go. Up and then over. Now, something you might want to do, which I will definitely have to do, is you might want to move your feet also further away from your bottom. That makes it slightly a little bit easier as well. Okay. So from here, with control and using that core muscles, you are going to come down into the mat, vertebra by vertebra. Slowly, every single muscle and every single vertebra is aiding you to do that with control. Okay, let's do that again. So, deep breath in. On the exhale, nod that head, pull in that core, up you come. Really ground your feet, the feet are really helping you there as you come up. Roll over that beach ball, if you can touch your feet then great. Up you come, nice breath. My shoulders have crept up there so I'm just pulling them down, and down we go. Hope you're all with me. Let's do one more for luck. Okay, deep breath in to prepare. Nod that chin. My shoulders are following through. The core is now bringing me up. My feet are grounded on the floor there, really helping me. As I come up and I lift, I reach over my beach ball, hold it there for a moment, back up to centre, back nice and straight, down we go. One vertebrae at a time. Now some of you will find the pressure here, that's where you suddenly want to fall, but don't really pull that core muscles in to allow that middle back and shoulders and head to return. Awesome. Okay, what are we doing next? Let's just check our time. Brilliant, okay, so we're pretty much in good condition for we've got about 5-6 minutes left. We're going to do 2 more that's going to work out abs because I know it's really, really important. It's scissors, so we're going to go from scissors and then we're going to go to single leg stretches. I'm going to demonstrate what they are, but those that have been doing this class with me a while, you can join me immediately into this. So we're going to start with scissors. From here, from lying onto our backs, palms facing downwards, you're going to bring both legs into the air, okay? So your toes are pointing into the ceiling. Brilliant. From here, there's a couple of options, okay? It just depends on your range of movement. You're going to take your hands and clasp one of your thighs while the other one goes towards the floor. Now, if you don't have that flexibility, it's okay if that's your range of movement just from here. But if you can, try and keep those legs as far apart as possible, but without this one dumping onto the floor because you lose control of the muscle then. So, deep breath in. On the exhale, you're going to take the right leg as the left leg goes towards the floor and the right leg comes towards your nose. And switch. And switch. And switch. And I'm breathing on my and switch. And switch. And switch. And switch. And switch. And switch, and switch. Keep those toes pointed, keep those core muscles engaged. Okay, from here, keeping the legs straight up, what I'd like you to do is try a couple where your head is off the mat and the top of your shoulders and middle of the shoulder blades are off as well. If that hurts your neck, don't do it and go back down to the floor. But let's just challenge ourselves. So, legs straight up, deep breath in to prepare. On the exhale, we drop that left leg and then switch. And switch. And that right leg, just imagine that your knee is hitting your nose, so you're getting a stretch on both of those legs. Make sure that your chin is tucked and not jutting forward, and you are breathing. Awesome. Okay, legs straight up. If you need to put your head back down, feel free. We're going to do a single leg stretch. So now I want you to bend your legs, okay? Bring one of them into your chest. So I always start with my right. The left leg's extended in front of me. If this hurts your neck, then keep it down. But for that challenge on your abs, try and keep up on your shoulders, chin tucked in, and you're going to change. So it's just a modification on what we were just doing. Perfect. And switch. And switch legs. And the leg that's into the chest, give it a little tug, give it a little pull. Perfect. And breathe, of course, using your core to keep you looking really straight and strong. And again, if you have any tension in your neck doing this, just pop your head down. Okay, one more. And feet onto the floor. Let me just check my time. Okay, brilliant. Let's just wind this down. We've got 5 minutes to go. So what I'd like you to do, sit with your feet facing forward. So your legs out, stretched in front of you, toes to the ceiling, okay? Brilliant. You're going to just take your hands to the side of you. Just create some room there so your sitting bones are really grounded onto the floor. Your back's nice and straight, your core's engaged. Chin's not jutting out, it's really nicely tucked in. And from here, you're going to stretch up, keeping those shoulders down. And then take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to stretch forward. Now, if you can clasp the back of your feet, fantastic. But if not, you just go as far as you can. It might be on your shin, it might be your knees. Wherever you can take it today, that's where you're going to go. Keep the gaze down. Breathe in. And on the exhale, return up to centre. Brilliant. And release the hands. We're going to do a few more of them, and the aim is that it would be really great to challenge yourself to see if you could get your head on your knees. And if you can, I want you to send me a photograph. Okay, so I'll do a side version of this actually, just so you can see that my back stays really, really straight. Toes are flexed, so that means they're facing the ceiling. Just going to create some room there for those sitting bones to really grind down. Okay, deep breath in. And on the exhale, you raise those arms up to the ceiling, taking those shoulder blades down. I've just checked my chin to make sure it's not jutting forward. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, you really lift and fold forward, grabbing the feet and seeing if you can get your head to your knees. Hold it there or hold it wherever you are. Deep breath in. On the exhale, stretch out as you come up to centre, shoulders down and arms down. Okay, let's just do one more. This is such a great stretch for the back, especially after some of the work we've been doing on the abs there. So, deep breath in. Effortlessly float those arms up to the ceiling, shoulders down, chin tucked in. Crown is up to the ceiling, really extending for you. Deep breath in, and on that exhale you fold forwards. That's where you're going to get that kind of hinging from the hips. You go as far as you can. If you can grab behind your feet, excellent, and the head drops to wherever you can drop it. Just breathe here for a moment. And then deep breath in. And on the exhale, you stretch forward as you return. And down we go. Okay. Brilliant. So this is our very last thing that I'd like us to do before we run out the front and start clapping for the NHS. So what I'd just like us to do is put the soles of our feet together. Hold those toes and just give a stretch. All within that groin area, within the legs area, keeping that back straight. So you might want to push your chest forward. This is called butterfly legs, which I really like. We're all being butterflies for Thursday evening. Okay, brilliant. Then from here, make your way up really safely, back onto your feet. Or if you're going to stay sitting down, I can see Tina's in the garden, so I can see that she might stay there with a nice glass of wine. I'm very envious. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week I'm going to do a recording for bums and legs. So if you're wanting to see that recording, I'll send you the link. Stay healthy, stay well. Thank you.